Hello and welcome back to the Property Pilot. Today I'll be talking about how I bought two properties completely blind, sight unseen. Right, welcome back. Today I'll be talking about how I purchased two properties completely blind. I didn't view them sight unseen. Now, before I get into this, I feel it's only right to give a disclaimer. Do not do this. Listen to Dion Dublin on Homes Under the Hammer and do not buy blind. Always make sure you view a property. Hate for someone to watch this and go out and buy a property and then, and it doesn't work out. Now, I'm going to talk about the reasons why I was able to do this and why I was so confident in this. Of course, it has risk, but there were ways of de-risk this particular purchase, and I'll come on to that very shortly. So I hope you take that on board, and without further ado, let's get into it. So this video is related to a previous video I made on the channel, which is where I bought two properties 40% below market value. So the properties I'm talking today are the exact same properties in that video, and then hopefully this will all make a bit of sense. Now the funny thing about this, obviously as I've already told you, I didn't actually see these properties. I saw the pictures on the listings, but when I actually fast forward and got the keys and went in the property, I realised that one lot of the pictures were completely not true, then mixed it up with another property. So, there are inherent risks to this. So you've got to know what you're getting yourself into. And I'll come on to this now and talk to you about the end-to-end process so you can see how I de-risked this and what was going through in my mind when I actually decided to pull the trigger on this particular deal. So first of all, it's really important to note that I bought these properties 40% market value, which actually significantly de-risks this investment, right? So it actually meant that I was comfortable not viewing the property. Because I've agreed such a big discount, then actually I had a really large margin of safety. And if things did go wrong and I walked through that door and I didn't like what I saw, then at least I knew I had some funds available ready to fix it and I'd still be in profit, right? So what I'm trying to say to you is, if you can secure a great deal, it really does de-risk it. It gives you a nice margin of safety, a nice buffer to play with, and it will allow you to actually transact on the property without seeing it, which means a couple of things. A, you're going to be really quick and speedy, and you can get in before everyone else. And especially in a hot market, this was purchased in spring, summer 2022, the market was absolutely crazy. You need every single edge you can to make a deal happen. Now, another reason why I decided to purchase these properties is because I knew I was getting them at a large discount. I knew that if I walked through that door and I didn't like what I saw, or for whatever reason I changed my mind, maybe something else popped up that was a great opportunity, I knew I could flog these back in the auction, make a slight profit, wipe my hands clean and walk away. Again, that itself de-risks it because I bought it at such a good price. I had so many options. I could flog it on straight away for a slight profit, or if I can actually keep it and utilize that capital appreciation. So another way I de-risked this investment and why I decided to purchase it is, well, these properties were purchased in auction, and every property that is in the auction has a legal pack. And as they say at Homes Under the Hammer, always read the legal pack, right? It's really important. Now, over the years I've been doing this, I've read a fair amount of legal packs. I know, don't get me wrong, I'm by no way a solicitor or a conveyancer or anything like that, but I've read, hundreds of legal packs. I know what to look out for, and I can pretty quickly get to the point. I can read a whole legal pack in probably about half an hour and just get the salient points and understand what are the issues with this property, what are the potential problems with this property. Anything I'm not sure of, I can speak to my solicitor about, right? That's what it's all about. So again, I read through the legal pack, and a couple of key things stood out to me, big showstoppers almost, and to some respect. So I had to, confirm these before I was able to proceed. So for example, these two properties, there was roughly about £10,000 owed on the ground rent and on the service charges. So I confirmed that, if I was to purchase these properties, that this debt would be wiped out and this debt would be paid from the proceeds from the, me buying the actual property, and which that was confirmed, everything's okay, so that, I'm not liable for that, the seller is going to pay for that, so that's great. So once I had a big tick in the box there, again, that de-risked that particular issue, right? Everything else I was more or less happy with within the legal pack. So another thing in the legal pack is you get the property information form and the fixture and fittings form. So again, you can go through this, you can see exactly what the property is and what is actually included in the sale. So for example, in the fixture and fittings form, you can see every single piece of furniture in the property that comes along with it. And it was quite obvious from the fixture and fittings form that, everything within the property came with it. There's a tenant in place, everything's rosy and very simple, which is great. You know exactly what you're buying. You can't just trust the pictures. Just because there's furniture in the pictures doesn't mean that's what you're actually getting, right? As I've already alluded to today, the pictures weren't even right. So, it's really important you read the legal pack and understand what you're actually purchasing. The agent will most likely try to show the property in the best possible light, during that listing. But it's your job to actually find the discrepancies and actually see what it's actually like to purchase this property. So let's fast forward. I'm trying to think how long it was, 4 weeks, something like that. I completed on the purchase. I picked up the keys from the agent who managed the properties prior. I've gone down to the development in the city centre. How did it actually work out? Was it a positive? Was it a negative? So I'll tell you right now. The development itself needs a bit of TLC. There's no doubt about that. It needs a proper good clean. Especially the exterior itself, and that's on the to-do list. Also, the electric gate that you use for cars to enter in and out of the property needs addressing and fixing. But apart from that, actually the development isn't that bad. Now, the nice thing about this is there's a new block agent in charge that's recently come in, and me and the other leaseholders are hoping that they're going to turn it around. They already look quite positive, so I'm hoping they're going to turn it around, keep on top of things, and make sure the development looks absolutely tip-top. And that's the standards and the expectations that we have as leaseholders, right? So I get the keys, I walk in the flat door, and this is when I realised, this looks a bit odd. These pictures weren't what were on the listing, but it was actually a huge positive because it was far, far better in real life. And also, the pictures on the listing showed a ground floor apartment. Now, typically speaking, you don't really want ground floor apartments. Don't get me wrong, they're good, but they're not as good as the upper floors. The view is better and the security aspect is also better. And they typically command a slight premium to the ground floor ones. So again, I was really happy with that. The property itself was in really good condition, fully furnished, comes with a parking space. It's absolutely amazing that, we got these for so cheap, really over the moon. Again, same with the other property, walked in, it was even better than what I expected. The kitchens were absolutely amazing. The bathrooms were immaculate. Okay, I think the lounge in that one needed a bit of paint, but apart from that, it was absolutely great. So it worked out. This one worked out really well. But I'm conscious. I'm aware that other opportunities and other investments may not have worked out so well. So just because I did so well on this particular property and using this particular strategy doesn't mean it's also going to be successful in the future. And that's where a lot of people trip up. They get success in one or two things and they think, oh, I'm really good at this, and keep on doing it. Well, in fact, you could have got lucky those first 2 times. And people forget to attribute luck in property investing. And luck has a huge role in property investing. And that's a video I'm actually going to make very, very shortly, because you want luck to be in your favour. So to summarise, that's how I bought 2 properties sight unseen and never even walked through the development, never been through the front door, just bought them through the listing, the online listing, what they said in the description and through the pictures. It worked out well, but that's only because I de-risked this investment using several different tools and techniques to my disposal. So it's not one I'd recommend, but it's something you can do. And it all comes down to this: what price are you buying the property for? The money you make in property is all around how much you purchase that property for. Think about it like that. If you're getting a great deal, you're going to make money irregardless of your strategy. But if you're overpaying for the property, it really does leave you with, it limits your options, put it that way. So if you can get a great deal, don't feel that you need to actually view the property. Okay, I always recommend that you do, but if you can't view the property and you're going to get a great deal and that deal's only open to you and no one else, consider buying blind. Now, this is my experience. I'd love to hear if you've got an experience, if you've bought blind at auction before or anywhere really. I'd like to hear how you got on. And for those of you that haven't subscribed to the channel, YouTube tells me that the majority of people here are not subscribed. So what are you doing? Come on, subscribe to the channel, show me a bit of love, and I'll help you. As you know, I'm giving away a free flight. Once we hit 10,000 subscribers, I'm going to choose one lucky subscriber at complete random. You'll be joining me in the cockpit. We'll be flying over Yorkshire together. So help me grow this channel and I'll help you. So I hope you've really got value from today, and this is kind of my honest confession and what thoughts were going on in my head as I agreed to purchase this property absolutely blind. So I hope it's actually given you some sign of value and you've taken something away, and enjoy your day. Bye-bye.